Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, beautiful people. My name is Francine, and this is my channel, The Hermetic Herald, and I'm back again with another channeled message for you guys. This is specifically going to be for Zayn Malik and for Gigi Hadid. So I did do another video, and what I did was I just lit some Palo Santo, and I'm just gonna clear out already cleared out the space with selenite, but I want to add some positive energy, I should say, with the Palo Santo. I feel as though I have to say this, but a little bit goes a long way. So if you notice that you're using Palo Santo or you're using sage, it depends on the circumstance. If there's like a lot of negative energy to deal with, I do strongly believe in the power of herbs. I feel like you can use a little bit and it goes a long way. So someone here needs to know that if you use a little bit of sage, just a little bit, you don't think that you can, use a lot of smoke because of maybe asthma or anything like that. You can do it with your medical professional's advice, of course, always. But you can definitely use a little bit and that still will have a major effect on either your readings or your space, okay? As long as the door is open and there's some air flowing through, letting out the negative energy, you're good, okay? So someone needed to hear that. But I am here anyway. I'm channeling, but I wanted to come on here to see if I can get a look into Zayn Malik and Gigi Hadid's co-parenting. How is that going? Because I know that with any situation between two people, without fame involved, it can be tricky. I don't know specifically, personally, from what it feels like, but I feel as though just from watching other people, you're working with a person that's separate from yourself. You don't see them every day necessarily, but you're still touching base with them. You have a connection with this child and you want to make sure that you're doing what is best for them, and you're really raising them and you're really showing them and addressing along the way certain topics, right? And so I feel as though to be a good parent, it requires all of you. It requires a huge commitment. So are they committed? What are they maybe leaning on to in order to help them, assist them? What are they learning and healing? I want to really touch base on their characteristics because I do touch base with that before I go into any questions. A really awesome viewer actually requested this one. So I had another video come out specifically about the dynamic in their relationship in the past and now what the dynamic kind of is like. It was more so about the potential of something coming or arising again between the two of them, and you may be a bit surprised by the answer. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little caught off guard, but I always provide the insight and clarity that is requested. So I don't know why I'm feeling really strongly like I should use these cards. This is the Nefertari Tarot card or deck. Interesting. This is being thrown out there. So I just want to touch base with a couple of decks for him. I want to touch base on, I usually knock out the energy first. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, can you please provide some insight on how co-parenting is doing overall? Okay. So what we have coming through already, let me just get a moonology card for us as well. What is their energy, Spirit? What advice or information, insight can you give us in regards to their co-parenting? I feel as though 3 is perfect. Okay. Bottom of the deck was a new start is coming. Beautiful energy, if you guys can see that. So this is the energy of the new moon. The new moon is starting again. It's about new beginnings, about really putting yourself in a new energy. It's something about like opening up and receiving whatever is coming in now, because everything has already come to a culmination previously. This is like the world energy. There has to be a fresh outlook between the two of them as they co-parent. There needs to be an understanding and an acceptance, is what I'm hearing, of what's going on and what's being presented to them. So let's see what's going on with that here. Okay, the first one is work through your fears. They're working through their fears right now. New moon in Scorpio. Scorpio energy is very, very strong in the sense that it's very transformational. There's something about them going through a death and rebirth. So it could be methods of how they raised Khai, scrapping it out because it worked for them maybe in the beginning of her life. The formative, it's still formative, but the earlier years, it's working through your fears of what you're not wanting to see, what experiences you're not wanting to have with Khai, in terms of like making sure she feels loved, making sure she feels nourished, making sure that she feels enriched and enlightened as she's growing, making sure she feels like she has an attachment that's healthy to both parents is what I'm getting. Working through fears of abandonment, fears of, I'm hearing resolve, of there not being a closeness between the two of them. So Gigi and Zayn are working through their fears. That is beautiful energy. When you see new moon energy, that means that they're trying to focus on moving forward. They're not interested in going back, regressing. So that's a good sign. Let's see what else came through. Nothing is yet set in stone. That is a very mature energy. Now, I'm not saying that mutable signs or mutable anything is more mature, but it means that you're very versatile. So you're using and addressing the fact that life is not set in stone, that nothing is truly set all the time. Sometimes it requires innovation. It requires thinking on your feet, of kind of addressing something head on in the moment. They're recognizing that they can't say or have a rule. Most rules, they're noticing, can't work in every situation. So let's say they had like a rule like always always give Khai 3 meals a day with a certain number of proteins. Khai may not want certain things, and they're recognizing, okay, well, we can't always kind of make things set in stone. Sometimes it's just not going to be that simple. So we're going to have to figure out a way to get her the nutrients that she needs. And it might involve a snack or a couple of different things. It's about being versatile. Your child is not going to do what you expect. Most times you're going to end up being disappointed if you're expecting your child to be a certain way, especially if you're trying to project on them an image of something, or a sense that they have to be like you, like their siblings or anyone else. Children, just like humans, because we all are human. Okay, I feel like someone here, it's interesting. I'm feeling like I needed to say that to everyone. Human beings, children, the dynamic is the same, right? Because we're all human. We started as children, and some people do get stuck in this method or thought process that children are like animals, or children are like lesser than, and that typically catches people off guard, and they're usually like, wait a minute, I'm raising an actual human being? Yeah, you're raising someone completely different than you. Nothing is yet set in stone with them. They're growing, expanding, they're doing their own thing, and you kind of have to go along with it and kind of show them as you go along with it. It's like having a sense of gentleness and respect, and also an understanding that they're figuring it out too. But prosperity lies ahead. Look at all the new moon energy. Wow. New moon energy all over. New moon immutable. They're becoming more flexible as energies is what Spirit wants to highlight here. Yeah, wow, that takes a lot of growth and maturity to be flexible, to also be addressing your fears head on, not being afraid to talk about things. I feel like that's another thing. Yeah, prosperity lies ahead. So the co-parenting is going pretty well. Now, when I say co-parenting is going well, I mean that they're learning big lessons. It doesn't mean that they're not necessarily having fights or disagreements or conflict, but they're also recognizing that they need to work through fears. They need to work through accepting that they don't know everything and that they won't learn or understand everything beforehand. They have to kind of go through the motions. We have the Empress and the Lovers. Wow. Feminine energy, abundance, There's like this bridging the gap, because what's interesting is the lovers in this card, they're very close together. When you look at the lovers in other decks, usually there's like a distance between them. There's usually like some separation between them. There's no separation here. It feels as though they're working together on a united front, and for the most part, it's very abundant. It's very beautiful energy. This is like one of the best situations you can have, because we also have 3 and 6, and mind you, when you're multiplying this, right, 2 parties are operating their abundance, you have a very deep reservoir, is what I'm hearing, of information and insight that comes through. So I feel as though they're working together fairly well. Let's see what else is coming through. We have strength as well coming through. That's about resilience. That's about having self-control. That's about being very mature about a situation. It's about being very strong-willed, being resolute on making something work. That requires commitment, okay? We also have the 5 of Swords, fighting. But this can also mean, instead of just conflict, judging by the rest of the cards, this can mean them being very protective of Khai. Protective and ready to stand up and willing to fight for her. Fight for the situation, fight for a resolution, or of some kind of like dynamic between them, of continuing that and allowing them to start. I'm almost feeling like they're in their power here with this relationship, with like just having Khai in general. I feel as though it brought them a warrior-like energy to them. When you talk to parents, a number of parents will talk about how they would do anything for their child. It's like, it's unfathomable just how deep that goes until you're actually involved in or have a child. Their souls are just so pure, and there's just something to protect. It gives you this like desire to just protect them at all costs, to make sure that they have the provisions that they need. It's like you just want to give everything to them, and it's unexplainable. It's just like you don't even know what it is until like deeply, until you're in it, until you see that child and that baby when they're born, or whether you adopt it or have your own child. It's like you don't quite get it, the gravity of it. Okay, that's coming through. We also have the Queen of Swords. Okay, so with the Queen of Swords, I'm not going to say that they don't butt heads, because I feel like they communicate a lot. Like I said earlier, the energy is very good. But what I also feel like is happening is sometimes they're strong-willed, or they're focused on making sure that there's communication, there's clarity on the situation, communicating with each other. They're more so in their mental space. They're more so like focusing on planning, making things work for Khai. So it's a very mental energy. But I feel a lot of like joy off of this. They feel so joyful. Knight of Pentacles and Judgment. Yeah. Wow. When you see these cards, it feels like a lot of major arcanas coming out, by the way. We have 3 out of 5 on the board here, and then also we have 2 more. So it's about speaking your truth, about coming to some understanding between each other of what you have going on, and that there's a need to protect it. There's a need to be to show up to the occasion here. Yeah. A lot of prosperity is here. A lot of abundance is here. A lot of love is here. A lot of resilience, a lot of strength, a lot of clarity. Yeah, they're fighting, and they know what they're doing. They're fighting for the reasons of protecting what they have. And yeah, Queen of Wands, definitely Gigi too. Like I feel like she's in her power. I feel like she's in a new state since her child was born. I feel almost like she's in a passionate place in regards to her career path as well. It's given her some fuel, because now she has someone else that's looking at her, someone that's going to see her and her legacy. And I feel like that's something that makes her really feel good about it, and it helps her shine. But there's also a sense of peace that's come over her since she had, or is with, I'm hearing since she was co-parenting, she's been very at peace. There's moments, but I feel as though for the most part, she feels like this is working. Yeah, and she feels more independent too. I feel like she's feeling a lot more independent in her power with the Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, so let's go into a couple of things. How is Gigi feeling overall with co-parenting with Zayn? How is Gigi feeling? Wow, that perched right there. 6 of Wands, yeah. Like I was saying, she just feels really balanced, really successful. She feels like she's doing a great job. She's doing a hella good job is what she's feeling. You can't tell her different, okay? 6s are very important here. That means that there's balance. Okay, we have Magician. Yeah, she feels like she's in control and has creative power. The ability to craft something, to make this something beautiful. It feels like she's in her power. How is Gigi feeling towards co-parenting with Zayn? So Zayn must be doing something right, okay? For you to feel this way, to feel so assured and successful, you either have to be a very like headstrong person, right? And see past anything and just say, hey, I'm gonna do what's right. I'm gonna make it work. But to be this successful at something, there has to be some acceptance or compromise from both parties. I don't feel like you could really feel like this unless you were... It takes a lot. You'd have to have like a lot of people behind you as well rallying if you had someone, a partner that wasn't on board. But I feel as though he's on board as well. Okay, and the King of Swords. Yeah, didn't we have the Queen of Swords earlier? This is telling me that she's in her power with regards to communication, clarity, mental acuity on this. She knows what's going. She has a lot of wisdom, okay, insight. She's grown a lot. The King and Queen is here. Yeah. I'm getting also the 5 of Pentacles, which is telling me that sometimes she may feel... 5 of Pentacles is usually left out in the dark. But I feel as though she's very communicative when she gets into this energy and doesn't feel like she has like a connection. So like sometimes I feel as though she reaches out to Zayn and reaches out to his... It's like family. Maybe his mom, I'm not sure, reaches out to family when she feels like there's a disconnect or they're not reaching out to each other enough. She like is very communicative, and she's with the 4 of Swords again, feels very at peace. I feel like she's at peace with the family is what I'm hearing. Yeah, she feels at peace with Zayn's family. It's very like they're working very well together, okay? They have a very strong united front here, okay? So let's go into, I'm gonna keep this here. Let's go into Zayn's, how is Zayn feeling? And how is he doing in regards to co-parenting? I feel this card, okay. How is Zayn feeling in regards to co-parenting? How is Zayn feeling in regards to co-parenting? Interesting. Okay, so the first card we had come out was the 5 of Pentacles. So I'm feeling like this energy of the 5 of Pentacles is coming out because I feel like sometimes he doesn't feel like he's involved as much between the two of them. I feel as though she's the planner. I feel like she's the one that's clear on what she wants to do, what events she wants to go to Khai with, or what she wants to do for her birthday or things like that. He helps, but he also sometimes feels left out in the dark. He feels like he finds out things a little later. He doesn't feel like he's as involved as he wants to be. With the 7 of Pentacles here, this has been happening for quite some time. He's trying to really, so with the 7 of Pentacles, usually I think of the Rider-Waite version, and that's someone looking very dotingly on what they've created. I feel as though he's looking on what's created with Khai, like the relationship he has, and he feels like just a love and like a patience. He despite feeling left out at times, he feels patient, and he feels like he's waiting for this to bloom and grow, and for seeing her bloom and grow. So it's a very beautiful energy with the 7 of Pentacles. I feel like he's just kind of waiting for things to kind of work out. If there's anything that's not, if he feels left out, which is what it feels like, he's waiting for the 6 of Pentacles for balance, but he feels this way towards her. He feels like it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be here for a long time. I'm gonna be here as long as it takes. I'm gonna be there for her. So it feels like a very like doting, very like very sweet energy coming through here. He's in it for the long haul. So he's like, well, if I don't feel like I'm included enough, let's just wait. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep persevering. I'm gonna keep asking for balance. I have all day. I have all the time in the world to get to this place, to get to a place where I feel like I'm always there, or I'm there enough. And will he feel that way? Because I feel like you can't get enough of your kids, but I feel like he's always going to want more, like more time. So he's trying to get more time with her. We also have the Four of Wands, feeling very, there's like a celebratory energy with this. So he's feeling like things are working out between the two of them. Like things are coexisting, they're coexisting together, and that they're in sync. Even when he feels like sometimes he's not there, or that they're not including him enough, there's times where he feels left out. I feel like they do that to each other at times, and they have to say, oh, I'm sorry. I was doing this and this and this. And the reason why I didn't respond to you or reach out or tell you about it earlier is because there were so many things going on. So they're kind of working through that on both ends of not leaving each other out, learning how to speak with each other even if they're not together. We also have the Ace of Cups, and we also have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, very youthful energy. There's a lot of love here. There's a lot of love here. A lot of joy. He really gets a lot of joy out of being her father. Khai's father, because it feels like he's just like all about it. He's like, I'm gonna go into it. I'm gonna show up. I have a lot of excitement, a lot of love for this situation. So he's doing really good. Both parties are doing well. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Swords, Judgment, and the Knight of Cups. He sends a lot of love to them. He sends a lot of love their way, because the Page of Swords is about communication. I feel as though he's a very communicative person. And he also has accepted this time in life. He accepts what's going on in life. There's a completeness about him being just where he is and being happy with that. And also finding so much joy in it. There's like, this is a mature, despite the Page of Swords feeling immature, it feels like he conveys only a little bit of what he feels inside. Because I feel like Judgment is his energy, and this is just how he expresses it. He expresses it dotingly towards both of them, towards Khai, and it feels like he's really just like, he doesn't talk a lot, like very deeply about things. I feel like sometimes he tends to not say exactly or truly the depths of what he wants to say and convey here, but he recognizes this for what it is, and he's looking at it in a beautiful way. Like Knight of Cups is like, I want to give my love to you. I want to offer up love to you. I want to present it. Let's see. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us, Spirit, going forward? Let me see what archetypes they're operating in. So I feel like that'll help us understand their dynamic. Archetypes are really cool because you shift based on the relationships you're in at times. If we're looking at your characteristics, that's one thing, but I feel like there's like a dynamic, and I want to see what roles they offer. So what role does Zayn offer? What is Zayn's light attribute in the co-parenting? Okay. And what is Gigi's dynamic? Okay. So we're going to look at just the light attributes here. Okay. We're going to look at Queen. So Zayn is operating in the Queen energy. This radiates the regal feminine. Uses benevolent authority to protect others. He's a very benevolent energy. He wants to protect her. He wants to preserve her childhood, her just Khai in general. He's a very benevolent and kind, very sweet energy towards her. Very loving, doting, not authoritarian or authoritative, like trying to force things on her. It's like a very like flowy energy. That makes sense for the Empress coming through. Abundant energy, not trying to force anything to happen. With Gigi, her light attribute, we have shapeshifter. Wow. skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. Look how open she is. You have to shift. She's shifting through different levels of consciousness and seeing things in a hugely different perspective. With the King of Swords, that makes sense. She's thinking about things differently, way more differently than before. She's grown a lot. Okay, she's manifesting all the time. She's always looking at how she can improve, what can be better, how they can do better. She's really focused and she's really committed to making this work by looking at things from hugely different perspectives. You have to be open in order to grow and to knit something together. Look at these energies. That's really positive. Now, I feel like Spirit wants me to do one card for their shadows. And then we'll close. What is Zayn's shadow attribute? And then what is Gigi's shadow attribute? Okay. A little bit more. We'll look at those. Okay. Only the ones that flipped over. Okay. So bottom of the deck is the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. So there's feminine energy coming through. For Zayn, for his shadow attribute that he should be wary of is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. So he has to be wary of not expecting someone to say, oh my gosh, I'm so appreciative of what you're doing. You know, it's a very kind gesture to say these things, but it's like that he has to recognize that he should do these things without any expectation of someone giving him a pat on the back, if that makes sense, because this is for your daughter, you know, this is for your child, regardless of how the other party feels. As long as you're loving on them and taking care of them and taking responsibility and accountability, that's what matters. So he just needs to be careful of not trying to expect her to be like, thank you so much, oh my gosh, thank you every time, because I think she expects it energetically. Now for shadow attributes, she tends to be more of the dictatorial or like authoritarian energy between the two of them. So she has to be wary of being like a father and a mother figure, in the sense that she's trying to take control of that. Sometimes she tries to integrate, or she tries to be both in some circumstances. It's like she had maybe a contingency plan that she would always be like a mother and father to him, to Khai, excuse me. I had to turn my monitor down. But yeah, she just feels like she has to be both in this relationship at times, but she's learning to accept and to go through different levels of consciousness to see this differently, okay? We also have escapism and a false sense of heroism. She has to be wary of escaping in her mind or in her mental space when things get hard with Khai. She has to recognize that she has to address things head on, and I think that's what she's learning. She's learning not to run away from a situation that's difficult at times. Also, I feel like she's also seeing that she's not like this hero that is doing everything, but that there's other people that are there to help her. So there's this balancing effect here with her. We also have priest, which is violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. So this sometimes can say, what this can mean with her is that she sometimes tries to appear as though she has everything together, that she has like it all planned out and everything's fine, because I feel as though she might have some people that she's accountable for, or people that she speaks to that ask her, how are things going, how is X, Y, and Z going. This could be her mom. This could be some figure in her life that watches and takes care of like the emotional health of the situation. I feel like she sometimes has to tell them, yeah, everything's great, everything's going well, because sometimes she feels like she has to have it all together. She has to be this priest energy in her family and in her dynamic. So if you noticed, it's father, hero, priest. She feels like she has to be like the hero for her child, which is not a bad thing. That tells me that she's willing to do it tells me that she really takes this seriously, but she also wants to be all things for Khai. So she has to learn how to lighten up a bit and allow people, I'm hearing do priest or Dupree, which is interesting. She needs to be someone that works and integrates with people, okay? So that's what we have coming in as far as the dynamic, the light and shadow attributes between them. But let's ask something here. How is Khai doing? How is she feeling? How is Khai feeling about the situation? How is Khai feeling in general, Spirit, regarding the two of them? Okay. she's learning a lot of things. She's growing a lot, but I feel like she's interesting. Can I have one more card for Khai? How is she doing? Okay. I feel like there's so many cards coming through for her. Hold on. How is Khai doing? Okay. Interesting. Okay. Wow, she is learning a lot for a kid her age. So she's learning a lot of things. I'm feeling like, interesting. I'm feeling like there's something about being potty trained, learning how to be potty trained, learning a lot of information and insight with the Hierophant. That's about like feeling like you are on top of learning. You're doing really well. You're able to effectively communicate what you're doing and how you're doing. I feel like she's feeling really honored with the priest, with the Hierophant, because that's the priest looking at these two people, or this person here. In the Rider-Waite deck, it's usually the Pope, but it's a feeling of like feeling like you're honored, respected, loved. Four of Pentacles tells me that she's very protective or possessive of her relationship. So she feels like she's very, understandably as a child, you want all of the affection, all of the attention, all of what you can get, because it really feels, it really lights you up and makes you feel good. It feels like she just like wants more. She like, when she gets the energy and the attention that she wants and needs, she just like latches onto it. She's understandably acting as you would expect. So that's a good thing. I mean, I don't see or feel like a sense of like, I don't feel a sense of lack. I feel like more so she's just like wanting it all and she's enjoying it. But I feel as though the Four of Pentacles can also bring with fear, a sense of fear and holding on to things tightly. But I think she just values the energy that her parents bring a lot, and she holds on to it and collects it. I'm also getting here with the Star and the Hanged Man, that she's really interesting. She feels like a star. She feels like just like, she feels really loved, catered to, but she's also seeing things differently. Like she's expanding her horizons. She's expanding in the way she thinks. So she's like really growing a lot. Full energy. Yeah. Full energy. So there's times where she's in defense, why did I say defensive? Maybe she's defensive about the two not being together or split, or she feels like she wants them together more. But there's this sense of the Page or the Knave of Wands of like the start of interacting and exploring like what she likes to do creatively. I feel like that's coming through. Like she likes to do art in some form, it feels like. And I don't know if it's painting, but I feel like she's going towards her passion, going towards something that she really likes. She's finding and regulating her balance though. I feel as though this might feel like, I think she's indecisive between the two of them. Sometimes she feels like she's split in two is what I'm hearing. She feels like yeah, it kind of causes her some pain or sadness to think that they're not together or in the same vicinity with her as much as she wants them to be. Why is the Four of Pentacles here, Spirit? Okay, we have the Ace of Wands. Interesting. We have the Queen of Wands. And the Page of Cups. So I'm feeling strongly like she has this sympathy towards her mom, a sympathy and a love towards her with the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Wands. It's like she feels like she's getting to tap into and explore as well, I should say, her creative side. I feel like she has like a big imagination and she wants to like use her drive to create something. I feel like she's already creating things. Interesting, that came through really quick. I don't know if she works with her hands, like with like artwork, but that's coming through a lot. I'm trying to get back into like what I was saying earlier with her mom, because I feel like there's something here. They're telling me it isn't as much as what I'm hearing now, which is in regards to her artwork. She's really focused on like creating some venture. She's very young, but she's like doing a lot. We have the Page of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, finding balance. So she's finding balance in her emotions, finding balance in her interesting. I'm hearing like liberty, like her freedom of going between both parents. It's like she's trying to find balance between the two of them. But look at the bottom of the deck here. We have the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the King of Pentacles in the Tower. So that tells me as a reader that she's feeling really connected to them. She feels like really celebratory. She feels like she's celebrated within the group. She feels like she's like a very like valuable person in the group, which is a beautiful energy. You want your child to feel valuable. You want them to feel like they have all this affection, that they're loved. So if either Gigi or Zayn sees this video, I would want them to know that she feels very much a part of the family, a very much integrated, very much cherished and loved. Three of Cups is like celebration. That's like you toasting together. Whether or not she can have alcohol, it's like she's still like toasting, like cheers. This is something beautiful that's come into her existence. Like she just feels really happy with them. I feel like sometimes she tries to I feel like her mom and her sometimes butt heads, in the sense that her mom is more like work oriented and very, very fiery, and she's more passionate. Is she I'm curious if Gigi has more fire placements and then Khai has more water placements, because I feel almost like they butt heads with regards to like their emotions, like with their inner child. She's healing. I feel like Gigi's healing some of her inner child, of feeling like a child. I don't think she quite understands how to be like a child fully. I feel like she's grown up really fast, specifically with Gigi. So I feel like she's learning how to balance. And I feel like her mom, I feel like she's helping her mom balance. So Two of her Pentacles are coming from that. And then the other is like Ten of Swords. So that's like ending of a really difficult situation. She acknowledges a lot, guys. Okay, she's very wise, very intuitive here. What's her light attribute? What does she bring to this dynamic? What does Khai bring to this dynamic? She brings a lot of healing too, by the way. She's healing both of them in a sense of like her presence. Okay. What is Khai's light attribute that you'd like to address, Spirit? Okay, I got it, apparently. This might be another one. Feels like another one here. So her light attribute is the Exorcist. Wow. Freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. Yeah, she's freeing and helping them of any impulses, any past, like she's really transformative in this relationship. This dynamic works because of her. She has the ability to show you what destructive impulses are inside of you, and she pulls it out of you. Like an exorcist will pull out a demon or something. It's like she's like, what is it inside of you? And she finds it, and it's really powerful energy. We also have Networker coming through. This is enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. So she's able to communicate between them. She's really good at being the bridge between the two of them. Communication is her thing. Interesting. That feels like Gemini energy too. Gemini, Sag. Interesting. What is a shadow attribute that she's working on that we are able to understand or expect? What is a negative, or not negative, but shadow attribute? Okay. I want to correct that. So I just want to say it's not necessarily negative, but it's something to heal. So we have Thief. Okay, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. This feels like the Four of Pentacles energy. She hoards a little bit. I don't know if it's resources or is it just affection, but she tends to hold on to it. The healthier, she's gonna have to come to terms with the light attribute in allowing herself to see the wealth within her rather than trying to hold on to wealth. she might even hold on to money that she gets from them, and she holds on to it too much and doesn't spend it. So she's a very frugal person already, in the sense that she likes to hold on to wealth. But in other words, I feel like she's also holding on to like ideas, holding on to affection, specifically affection between them. She really takes it in and will not let go of them. Okay. So yeah, I feel like she's just a really frugal energy. Yeah, so that's what I have for her. So that is what I have for you guys. This is the dynamic between them. I feel as though she has brought a lot of insight and clarity to them. I hope that I have brought insight and clarity as well to the situation, to the information and insight that I'm getting for her. I feel like there's something else though. Is there anything else you'd like to say about this dynamic and this relationship, Spirit? We have privileged lady, house, wealthy man. Look at that. Okay. Something's gonna hit big for Zayn. I don't know what it is, but we have main male, occupation, sun, wealth. He's gonna bring in a lot of money soon for something. Okay, and I feel like there's something in addition to what he already does. So we have privileged lady, house, and wealthy man. Look at that. That's the two of them in their home. So why are we getting this information here? We have community, and then we also have coffin. Interesting. Is there any other insight you'd like to give us, Spirit? Great fortune. Yeah, gift. So you know, the legal ramifications of like their custody of Khai, it feels like they're reaching an agreement in the sense that they're coming into more balance and more consistency with the relationship, with the agreement that they made. I don't know what the custody of Khai is, but adjudication is here. So is there an official person here between the two of them? Please let me know in the comments below. But there's something about there being an official person between the two of them that will be maintaining main custody of her. But I recognize here that we're also talking about community ending. They're going through a death and rebirth with their community and the people that they latch onto, or the people that they have in their circle. I think that they're addressing and assessing all the people that they used to kind of have close friendships with, and they're reassessing it, and their community is shifting based on their child. So they're going to be around more of the people that are going to be a gift or helpful to them, helpful in their as parents. But I think that there's some that are falling by the wayside here. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, tower moments are coming for the community, people that they used to look up to or be with in the community. I'm feeling like someone with the letter F is coming up, and I don't know why. 2 of Cups, 10 of Swords. Yeah, really close relationships are ending here, and they want you to know that. Yeah, family ties, family relationships. There's something that's going to come out here about like a relationship ending that involves someone really close in the family. The Chariot, the World, into the unknown, into the mysteries. Like there's some shadow energy coming through, like some dark things are going to come to light, and they can't really partner with that because they have a child to protect. What would you like to say in regards to this coffin situation, Spirit? I'm seeing like the card, you and your loved ones are safe. So I think they're going to be protected and safe in this situation. We have surrender to the divine. Yeah, there's going to be a need to allow this relationship to end. The full moon is about the culmination of something. And look at what we have, a time for healing. You see the purple? There's a lot of like intuitive nudgings coming through for them about this family member, this community member that isn't helpful. And I'm hearing forge. So they're going to be communicating with them, telling them something, and recognizing that they can't, that they're seeing who this person is for who they are, which show the world the real you. Aquarius energy coming through. A lot of air energy is coming through as well. A lot of communication about this person. Can I have some clarity on the coffin? What would you like to say, spirit guides, angels, and ancestors? Marriage, sun, wealth, and thief. Whoa. So we have marriage, sun, wealth, and thief coming through. Interesting that the marriage card fell, because it's like the energy of the card is very strong here. I've been having that happen recently with cards just falling, and it's usually, you know, I can be clumsy, but I feel like there's like a level of, there's some signals or signs coming through with this, with everything. So when I see the marriage card, sun, wealth, and thief, this is about like a relationship or partnership that was destined or would have been very beneficial, ending or being stolen. Now, when I see thief, I'm tempted to see why. When we look at the bottom of the deck, occupation, mature man, and toil and labor is here. So there's something about like an older mature man being at the crux of why something didn't work between Gigi and Zayn, because their work was also a part of why it didn't work. But there feels like there's like this other factor. What's interesting is now what I'm getting is that there's a maturity that came through the labor and toil that Zayn encountered, and I feel like it was involving his work and his career path. So there's something here about this opportunity for them to be married or to come together in partnership was halted by his growth and development as well. Is there a specific person that you'd like to mention, Spirit? Bad health. So it wasn't even like an external person. It was more so the relationship and the emotional health of the situation. He wasn't feeling good about the situation. Message, he found out about the child, and that's what shifted things though. So this relationship was definitely faded. Yeah, it's really helped both of them mature. You see how we have the mature man and the mature woman here, and adjudication. This child, Khai, has been instrumental. So their partnership took a turn, but for the better. It took a turn, sun wealth, towards sun wealth when they decided to not stay together, but they decided to raise Khai. There's something about the power it takes to commit to someone, even when you guys don't have a close romantic relationship. So there's something here about a karmic contract here. They became official people for Khai when they had her. So yeah, that's what I have here. Just a time for healing, surrendering to the divine, focusing on what Khai needs, and also just being there for her. They're doing great though. I see a lot of transformation happening, a lot of fortune coming in. The end of their situation brought them great fortune, believe it or not. They learned a lot separated, but they also healed a lot with her. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope that clarifies the situation a bit more. Definitely like, share, subscribe, because you liking this will get this in the algorithm so people can see it. And also feel free to subscribe as well for more information. Be sure to click the notification bell so that you always get notified when I'm having or post a video. I'm also going to be doing some videos that are exclusively for Buy Me a Coffee, and I will be addressing a lot more in-depth readings there, as well as I will do personal readings as well. So if you guys have anything that you'd like to touch base with on in regards to love, career path, healing, let me know in the comments below, or you can reach out to me through email. All of my information will be in the description box below. But you take care, and I'll see you soon.